This isn't the kind of game where we do recaps, so get fucked. B and Jenny...
I wasn't here.
Too bad. B and Jenny are in the police station, in separate interrogation rooms. Charged with possession with intent to deal, but the police are willing to cut you a deal. If you'll flip on your contacts. It's 5 days since present day. And 3 days since you were charged, or you will be charged, with a task to investigate. Meaning that yesterday was the day that our good pal Maverick was in a gutter, that B heard an argument between a cab driver and his charge, and Jenny was doing show and tell. That was yesterday. Today, you're in a police station, in separate rooms, being told that you're going to prison unless you tell us who you're working with. The police interrogate separately. You know that you're both there, like you were brought in together, but then split up to be questioned. Jenny. Miss Cable. We know you had far too much on you. You know you're going to jail. It's time for you to tell us who you're working with. We might decide to be lenient. If you know their names, maybe we'll even let you go. Tell us about 7. You're muted.
Wait, I'm not muted.
Oh, you just weren't talking loud enough to be heard. Okay.
I have a few questions myself. I'm not really sure why I was arrested.
You were
Anything
arrested
else?
for the amount of drugs you were intending to push to children. That's wrong, Miss Cable.
What? That is not even remotely within my character to do something horrendous like that.
Well, the amount of high-profile narcotics we found in your trunk says otherwise.
Well, someone must have planted them there.
So, your plan is to claim innocence in hope that that saves you?
Well, I mean, I didn't even know I would need a plan. I'm just telling you what I know to be the truth.
Yes, that sounds like something a guilty person would say. B.
You like say that about what?
Yeah, of course they do. They're trying to get you to admit to a crime. B. In your interrogation room, a probably like late 40s woman sits down in a chair and says, Miss Beatrice, could you please inform us what you know about your partner in crime? Now, it's important that you know that she's already told us about 7 and how it got rid of 9. So, it's important that you come clean and inform us about the moon, or you may find yourself in prison for the rest of your days.
The moon?
The moon.
Is my partner in crime?
No. Miss Jenny Cable is your partner in crime. Are you trying to play us for fools?
Jenny would never commit a crime. Have you seen her?
Yes, I'm looking at her right now on the cameras. She seems to be spilling her guts, and I see her mouthing your name. You might want to fess up.
She doesn't remember my name half the time anyway. There's no way.
Why wouldn't she remember your name, Beatrice?
Well, let's just say when Jenny has a bad day, she kind of,
She likes to throw a few back, you say?
yeah, just 1 or 2.
And what about the drugs,
15.
B? What about the drugs?
The aspirin?
Yes, the aspirin. Is that what you're calling it on the streets these days?
Well, I mean, I ran out of Midol, so I had to run to the store and grab some aspirin. So,
Yes. A common drug den, the store.
It's a grocery store, it has everything.
Yes, I'm sure they like to sell everything. It's against the law, Miss B.
To go to the grocery store? I see people in there all the time.
Drugs, B. Drugs.
I remember when I was like this high and my mom took me to the grocery store. She told me to pick out anything on the candy aisle, but only one.
B, we're getting off topic. Are you going to tell us about the moon or your partner in crime or not?
Well, the moon secrets are the moon secrets.
Oh, so you do know them, you're saying?
The moon? Everybody knows the moon's secrets.
If everyone knew them, they wouldn't be secrets.
I mean, do the math, man.
The math about what, B?
The math to how much the moon is.
How much it is, you say?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
why don't you tell me about what you were doing 24 hours ago and how much the moon is?
Well, I was at my whiteboard.
Yes.
With a marker.
A marker.
Doing math.
Math, yes. About how much the moon is.
And if you did the math, 1 + 5
is 6, B. Is 6.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But not 7.
No, I don't. The moon would never 7.
Yes, I would hope not. The moon 7ing would be a problem for us all. 7 is a man killer. A man eater, even.
Yes.
Jenny Cable.
I heard all about 9.
The police officer left your room for a moment, claiming that they were going to go speak with a colleague, but returns, says, well, Jenny, you're about to go away for a long time. We've got all the drug evidence we need. There's more than enough to put you away. And you don't seem to be willing to tell us about 7, so I ain't really got any leverage to lower your sentence.
First of all, I don't know who 7 is. I think you have the wrong person. I think I know about somebody named 7.
I'm sure.
Secondly, I still don't know where those drugs came from or who put them in my trunk. I have no idea how they got there.
Perhaps it was your partner B.
B would never do something like that. B is a very straight-laced, mathematical, calculating person in the most utmost ways.
Yes, I'm sure she knows the exact weight down to the gram of all the drugs that were in the car.
I mean, I'm sure she could calculate them if you gave her some clues, but I don't think she knows that there were drugs in the car if I don't even know that. I mean, we're together almost all the time when she's not working.
Oh, so you are partners. I see.
She's my best friend.
Right.
Are you saying love partners?
No, I'm saying partners in crime.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Miss B, Miss Jenny Cable, I want you to ponder upon your past, about what happened to 8 and 9 before they were lost. But more importantly, I need to ask some questions to my good pal Sparky Whistler.
Yes.
Sparky Whistler, you found yourself out of sorts just yesterday. You were no longer pleased with your vocation, and it was time for a change. Today, you've got a new job. How's work going?
It's been going pretty well so far. Honestly, I came in for orientation and no one showed up here into the meeting room, and I'm wondering what the hell's going on.
Boss never showed?
Yeah, but someone else took my card and let me punch in for my time so far.
Oh, so you're getting paid to hang out?
Basically.
I mean, that's a pretty good day. I mean, so is your boss there, or the trainer didn't show?
I'm not sure.
Could have been either, I guess. Yeah, maybe the boss was the trainer. Well, what's your goal with this job? I mean, you tired of your last vocation. You're the kind of fella who jumps around when he gets bored. What are you hoping to learn here?
What I'm hoping to learn here is spectrometry.
Spectrometry, yes, I understand. Now, are you a fan of the very plausible theory that spectrometry is a measurement of electrical currents or of light? Light, I see. And do you hope to measure the photon activity, or perhaps the absence or negation as a sign of something unseen?
As a sign of something unseen, particularly, I've heard this thing about angrons.
Angrons, I see. And the trainer at your new job, were you thinking that this was going to be a kind of like a hands-on job? Were they supposed to train you on how to use the machinery? Or is this more of a performative job where you're going to lead some other folks on spectrographical research?
Probably, I probably think it's a little bit more of the second, though. I have no idea what's going on because other than the person to show me in and let me, check in, no one has shown up.
Maybe they're already here and you just can't see them.
Did I sign up with a bunch of ghosts?
That's important to know. I mean, if you had signed up with ghosts, you would hope that you'd be able to see them in order to be taught how to do your duties. I mean, if you're the only visible, tangible person in the business, you kind of need to know how to run the business while they're doing ghost stuff.
Right. So I'm at this point, I realize now that I'm 2.5 hours in, and I'm probably pissed off the ghost that's my boss at this point.
Definitely been hanging out in the room the entire time, trying to, waiting for you to pay attention to his lecture.
Absolutely. And so I'm going to pull out my thing that goes ding and wave it about the room.
Ah, yes. Well, so you pull it out and you recognize that, shit. If this thing had fresh batteries in it, you probably would have known your boss was here. It must have ran out.
You know what? I'm just going to have to, I pull out a couple of wires, loose wires out of my pocket, and I'm going to go ahead and try to hook them up from some sort of low voltage.
Just plug into a nearby device of some kind.
Yeah, some little 5-volt device.
Yeah. Well, why don't you go ahead and roll electronics for me?
All right.
An unfortunate miss. You attempt to plug in, and eventually it'll work, but you shock yourself a few times, a little embarrassingly for how much time you spent working around electrical wiring and the electrical bits. Finally, your thing that goes ding lights up with enough energy to run, and it does in fact start to ding.
Interesting. Well, at this point, I would think about grabbing the salt, but I also, if I have a ghost boss, I don't want to piss them off by throwing salt in their face. True.
What's your plan then?
Is there a chalkboard in here?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and are the erasers particularly chalky dusty?
They are extremely chalky dusty.
I'm going to get the thing that goes ding and see if it dings louder in one particular area, and then clap the erasers together in that area.
You find that there is in fact a large pile of spectrographical instruments in the corner of the room that you just hadn't bothered to look for while you were waiting for somebody to come in and talk to you. There's a Ouija board, a super chalky stack of erasers, a big bowl of clean water for some reason, a stick that seems to be bundles of maybe sage. All sorts of stuff. You grab some erasers and clap them together, and there in fact is your boss, ready to teach you about the day. Finally. I thought you were cut out for this job, but now I'm not so sure. I think we're gonna have to dock your pay about 2.5 hours.
I think that's quite reasonable given that this first test I failed spectacularly.
You have indeed, but don't you worry, son. You'll learn. And then you're going to be able to see those ghosts. Let's get going. And he
All right.
leads you out of the room, and we transition to a parking garage. No, not that one. This one. Oh, yeah. Keith is in a large parking garage that sits adjacent to the diner that we left him with yesterday. The sound of heavy music echoes from the music hall that resides underground beneath the parking garage. Hidden within the noise, a chop shop and illegal modifications business burns the midnight oil. Keith, after leaving the conference yesterday and fleeing the scene as you may or may not have been suspected for a gruesome murder of your seat neighbor at the conference itself, you found yourself wondering how to get ahead in the taxi business. You asked around, and you heard from a reliable source, a friend of a friend who knows some things, that you can soup up the car. And if you do, you get yourself a better rate and more freedom to drive around the city. at the expense of charging the rider that extra fee that swapped off of you.
Right. It goes a little faster. It's a little more exciting. Your standard taxis don't do that.
Right. You're outside of this chop shop, feeling the, seeing the obviously illegal nature of it. You drove your car in here and you're confronted with the moral quandary that is it okay, is it right to shift the burden of your increased pay to the rider?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a more enjoyable ride. They're going to, get a little bit of excitement out of it. And hey, I take risk too. I've modified a standardized government issued vehicle in a way that's a little illegal. So
ever so slightly. Okay. You approach the chop shop. Rather, you drive your car up to the chop shop and find a tall Frankenstein-esque fella, like all shoulders and muscle, tiny head, kind of ambles out of the
taller than 75.
70. Oh, you mean size-wise? Yes.
Yeah.
He's 85 size.
Oh my goodness.
He's
I've never
massive.
Seen so.
Ambles out, looks down at you, because even though you're not exactly small, he's very tall. Looks down at you. What? This is legal enterprise.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I could use a little help with my Astro Omega over there. It'd be nice if it went a little faster.
Oh, yes. Astro Omega model. Unexpectedly slow. Due to restraining bolt.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it just fell off.
No, it's stuck on too tight. Only needs to be loosened slightly. And if it happened to fall off on its own, not big deal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Excellent. Well, this totally legal car improvement is very cheap. Definitely not expensive, probably. Only costs one favor.
Okay, I got time. I'm only on half the day.
Perfect.
Or night.
Waking period.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
We will do modification now. You will use improved car for favor later today. Yes? I will put explosive device in car in case you do not do favor.
That's a lot. What kind of favor are we talking about here? Maybe, rough outline.
Well, you will definitely be driving city.
I mean, I drive the city every day anyway, right?
Exactly.
Okay, and I'll have plausible deniability of whatever you're having me do, right?
Of course, you will only be taxi driver. You will pick up rider, you will take rider somewhere where they need to go.
That is exactly what I need to hear. Of course I'll do you a favor.
Perfect, yes.
I mean, I may have already done you favors and not even know.
No, we would never ask things of unsuspecting drivers.
You could have just said, yeah, maybe. Come on.
No, we are honest, upstanding business.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll do you a favor as long as, I don't know anything about it, then I never will.
Ignorance bliss.
Oh, that's the only way to live.
Yes. All right. Thank you, sir. Please wait in lounge area for car improvement.
Okay. Absolutely. Thank you so much for helping out.
You head over to the lounge area. It seems to be the back of like a really run-down hair salon. Like through a bead curtain, you can hear a variety of people like, "Oh my god, you look so good in blonde!"
So I'll walk in, and is the desk open?
Desk?
There's no desk. There's no reception.
Oh, you mean in the hair parlor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm supposed to go, right?
No, I said you're in the back room.
Oh. Okay. Well, then
There's
I'll just keep to
a
myself.
there's a bead curtain separating you from the hair business.
I'll just listen in.
Okay.
I guess.
I mean, it's up to you. You're welcome to go up there and get your hair did. I don't know. That's fine with me.
I was thinking it. I was gonna get a blowout. Why not? While
Sure.
I'm here. I mean, it's gonna take like an hour or something. I think.
Definitely some time.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go get a haircut.
You head through the bead curtain and you notice that like everyone very purposefully does not notice you
Because I came from.
because you
back
came
there.
from the back room. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get up to the front counter and then suddenly you exist, again. And one of the hair people, what are they called?
Stylist.
No,
Stylist, colorist.
they go to school for it.
Beautician.
Beauticians, that's the one.
Cosmetologist?
Cosmetologist also applicable, yes. One of the beautician turns and goes, "Oh, sir, you look so good in blonde. Are you here for a dye?"
No, I just need to get my hair real fluffy. I gotta look good.
Oh, Johnny could help you with the fluffy hair. Go on, sit down, hon.
All right.
You sit down, and Jenny, who's not Jenny Cable, a different Jenny, helps you with a fantastic blowout.
Thank you. This is the poofiest my hair has been in years. People are gonna love this.
They absolutely are, I'm sure.
It's all
Maverick.
about presentation in my line of work. You know how it is.
Right, but looking better means you get better tips.
Oh yeah, and looking memorable means people request you.
Right.
You don't want to be boring.
Across town, Maverick's decided it's time for a life change. He got the shit beat out of him. Where's my... There it is. No, that's not that one. Let's do this one. That's a little too tense. Do I have one? This one. Oh no, it's not gonna load. Sometimes fucking Foundry does not register some of the audio files. Fuck. No, ruined. Oh well. Let's do this one. No, this one. Yeah, that one. That sounds good. Maverick, you got the shit beat out of you. And you decided it was time for a life change, right? You wanted to help the kids not beat the shit out of people, right?
Right.
Good, good. So you decided, well, what better way than to become a teacher? I guess you should go to a school, maybe get your have an interview, see if you can start teaching the kids of Dark City. You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Let's head to school.
Away we go.
You walk into the school and find the halls largely abandoned. You know that there's not a lot of kids in Dark City, so this isn't too, unlikely. But the school itself appears like completely unused. You know this is the only school in your large area of your neighborhood. If there were kids here, they'd have to come to this school. So it's a little strange, I guess, that this is empty. But you called them up a couple hours ago and asked for an interview with the principal, and they said, yeah, come on down. So there's got to be someone here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be looking for, I guess, the front reception desk or a faculty, even if it's the janitor.
Okay. You walk down the hallway, dusty, cobwebbed, little lacking in color. Feels like it doesn't get cleaned often enough, and the dust has faded some of the colors of life. A room near you does sound like it has a class in it. Probably somebody in there you can ask.
Walk up and knock on the door.
The door swings open on its own. Oh no, is it gonna ruin my audio file? My whole plan! Well, let me force Foundry to reload. The door swings open on its own. I would advise you turn your music all the way up if you can't hear this.
Okay, give me a second.
Would you like me to restart it if you can't hear it well?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Okay. The door swings open on its own. 18 children sit in desks, facing the blackboard, which is empty. There is no teacher. One of the children stands and leaves the room. What's his name?
Jimmy.
17 children, faceless, featureless, sit in a room at their chairs without desks. The chalkboard reads a singular large chalked letter, M. A new child squeezes past you, unnoticed from the hallway, and sits down. What's its name?
Melanie.
The 18th child from the original room returns, squeezing through your legs, having had to run out to the bathroom probably, and realizes that its seat's been taken. It looks to the open window, walks towards it, and leaps out. The principal taps on your shoulder. Oh, Mr. Chesterfield, you here for your interview?
Ah, yes. Yes, I am.
Right this way.
Okay, and I'll just follow him.
We've been looking for more teachers. There's a few too many students, and not enough to show them the right ways.
Okay, good. That's kind of what I'm here for, but it looks like there's a lack of everything here.
Well, it's a building that's larger than its population for sure, but we're hoping to fill it out a little more.
Okay. Hopefully I can help with that.
What would you say your expertise is as an educator?
It would mostly be, I assume it's just English is the language that we're speaking here, not some, but English is what I majored in, but
Excellent.
I can teach most subjects.
Excellent. Would you say you have a solid grasp of mathematics and science?
Yes.
How about history?
Yes.
Really?
No. 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 History's a little harder here.
Yeah. It's tough to get anything really written down and find it later. Well, how about we start with a test class? You can sit in and see how we do things.
Okay. That works for me.
Perfect. Right this way. I think I'll leave you with, I don't think they're in session day. Maybe classroom B. Which leads you up a hall. Hands you off to a door. Says, just head on in. I'll let the teacher know, or that you're gonna sit in an audit, shall we say.
Okay.
18 children sit in an empty classroom, desks and chairs, empty blackboard. One gets up to leave. What's its name?
Carter.
17 children, faceless, featureless, sit in an empty classroom, no desks, just chairs. Sit at a blackboard with a singular letter, M. 18th child returns, finding its seat empty, and sits back down. 17 children sit inside of a classroom, no chairs, no desks. On the floor, on a blackboard that reads MA. One gets up, leaving only 16. What's his name?
Harold.
15 children enter the classroom. Behind you, as the 16 have left. On a blackboard reading MAL. The school day's over. It's time to go somewhere else. Two days ago, you were tasked with figuring out a mystery. The 5 of you, newly ensconced with investigatorial power, to cruise the city and search under the auspices of a special council. 48 hours from now, Quiggs will be dead in the Dark Club, and Dark Club will close. But until then, you've got time. What are you doing? How do you investigate the mystery?
If I were missing time, where's the first place I'd put it? Or if I held time in my hand, where would be the first place I'd put it?
In a place that people's not going to find it or look for it.
Clock factory? Around here? I don't know.
As you are denizens of Dark City, you're of course aware of its extremely regular, contents. It has offices and parks and grocery stores and schools, apartment complexes. Hell, they've even got museums and other daytime activities, even though it's always dark here.
Do I remember ever seeing the sun?
You definitely remember there being a light in the sky,
Yeah.
but it could have been the moon.
Yeah. So it's not something that really features prominently in your brain. Losing time. I know it's very literal, but it almost seems like a riddle.
Well, if I had more time,
Then you wouldn't be dead?
I wouldn't be dead. Yeah.
So
I think I'd want that time for me, so I'd keep it somewhere close to me and insert it into my day, Maybe my days. Little by little, too. You don't want to do it too much or people can start to pick up on things. How does one buy time like that?
So that people have stopped believing in time, right?
Well, it's always night here, so it's don't have a cycle other than the moon.
it's all we've had for all we've, as long as we've been alive. So if I lost time, I mean, the ways I've lost time before in the past are I've gotten drunk, dancing, had a couple of mollies, and then, forgot everything until the next morning.
Yeah, but you didn't lose it. You just weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Or unable to recall it.
So what if it's that and everyone's not paying attention to that time? And what is one other thing people don't pay attention to?
Well, I mean, people go unconscious sometimes, don't they?
Oh, I was thinking more of like the elderly and the dead, but that works too.
When they go to sleep,
yeah,
they go
yeah.
unconscious.
Yeah. I don't know.
So maybe people are falling asleep or being drugged or something.
Drugged, you say?
Or their brain is turning off for a little while. Something is turning people's brains off for a little while. Maybe it's.
I mean, isn't that alcohol? Really? I mean,
Yeah.
drugs, alcohol, any substance like that.
Or a baseball
Turn you
bat.
off. Or
Or
that.
the right amount of electricity in the right spot.
So, who has a lot to gain from more time then?
Anyone
And-
who has not enough.
How can they cause everyone else to essentially not see that?
It's a little doggy outside your window. Oops, I don't know
I
why.
see it. It just ran by really fast.
So either someone has to have a lot of money or ways of making people do things and forget about them. Paying them to stay silent, someone who's people are afraid of. Is anyone familiar with any of the scary elements of Dark City?
The what elements?
The
Scary
scary
elements.
Scary.
Yeah, I see
the-
scary stuff all the time.
Yeah, the underworld elements of the city.
Oh,
don't
well, I
really
try not to
partake in
involve
those.
myself in that.
No.
All right.
It kind of seeps out along the edges sometimes and you step in it, but I try not to.
That's absolutely true. I've gotten hired for a few shows for them. Someone wanted one for their girl's 11th birthday, and that was the strangest thing.
So, I'm saying, maybe old people need time and children have time. Maybe time is being stolen from children.
Time is being stolen from everyone, though.
If I lost time?
But children have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Do they, though? Is anyone guaranteed a lot of time?
No, not guaranteed, but statistically speaking,
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
If there's somebody that had an access to sell, it'd be younger people, right?
Oh, lies, damn lies, and statistics. Anyway, all right. So, someone who, I suppose the first thing is like someone could try to dig in to see who wants more time.
Oh,
Who needs
Someone could-
more time?
Maybe go to some of the homes of some of the elderly.
Who's desperate or selfish enough to need this?
I mean, anybody in charge, realistically.
I feel like this is more of a grandiose sort of a situation, so
Or it could be something that's just slipping through the cracks like everything else, including the infrastructure of the city.
Or it's intentionally slipping through the cracks.
What
So
if
we
it
need to
was
look at the
someone-
cracks real close.
what if it was
Maybe.
a situation where this is a very broad statement. I am
Very broad
thinking
crack.
very hypothetically here, but let's just say there were one too many of someone, right? And they were trying to buy enough time to stick around, even though they know they're not supposed to be around. You know what I mean? Like, it's getting apparent that they shouldn't be there, so they're starting to buy, time to stay relevant, or something like that. I don't know. I'm lost on this concept. I can't pinpoint a specific person at this point.
Like a person that's about to go and is just barely hanging on.
Yeah, maybe they aren't wanted there, but in order to buy time, we understand that we're having to take it away from something, right? So desperation and whatnot.
Kosher has a ghost.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that sneaking out of the woods.
His brother-in-law's hanging out behind him. So, what are you doing?
Where would we find a crack in time then?
I'm thinking retirement home.
It's a
fine.
starting point.
That was my
Or a hospital, maybe. People who are terminally ill in the hospital.
But have money? Wouldn't they? If they had money, they would be at their homes being
Right.
terminally ill. They wouldn't be in the hospital.
Hospice care.
Yeah.
What about the opposite end of the spectrum? Which could still be a hospital, so babies, children. As a school.
Yeah, taking time from babies. I like it.
Well, that'd be a source, right?
Yeah, and then the old people there who are suffering and supposedly terminally ill, they can take a year from a baby, give it to an old person, don't even notice.
So it
I
sounds
guess
like. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You first.
mean.
Oh, this is a very confusing conversation.
What? I'm just not understanding, like, who would have enough understanding or wherewithal to be able to decide who to take from or where to source this, I guess. I guess I'm just...
How to do this, what this even means? I don't know.
Well, I do know one day is 3, but multiple is 5. So.
One day is 3, but multiple days are 5.
Yeah, take that for what it is. You're welcome.
Oh, thanks for explaining that so clearly.
You're welcome.
Wouldn't
We're
one
talking
day
about
be 1
morning-
and multiple days be more than 1?
Morning, afternoon, and night?
No,
Is one
just
day?
3 and 5. I did the math, so my calculations cannot be wrong. So.
I'll leave this up to you then, because that doesn't make any sense.
Well, can you translate that calculation into not gibberish to us?
Can you make it dumber for us?
Can you-
Please.
For us layman
Me.
people,
Just tell us what those numbers represent.
So D equals 4 and A equals
no.
1. And then Y equals 25, right? So then you do 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5, right? So then you get 4 plus 1 plus 7, which equals 12, and that equals 3, right? Because it's 1 plus 2. And then for
These
days,
don't mean anything to me.
you get 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9, which equals 4 plus 1 plus 7 plus 10.
Are you religious at all?
This sounds like a good accounting.
Okay, so
sounds like the best accounting. Coded accounting.
if B's talking about days, then we're talking about the moon. What signifies time passing, aside from like a clock? It's really like the moon.
The moon cycles, yeah.
Yeah.
Heartbeats?
I mean, I built the moon, so
You built the moon.
yeah. I told you last time that.
Yeah, I still
that's
find that
my
hard to believe.
creation.
You
Well,
cre-
you see what happened is
Oh.
the other moon. It just wasn't cutting it for the council, the city council,
Hmm.
and they put out a notice to all of the inventors and sorts to see who would be interested in a very super secret but extremely important project. And I volunteered, of course. I love the idea of having a big impact. So I manufactured a very beautiful moon that we can all rely on.
How can you tell the difference in this one and the old one?
Well, I mean, you can touch this one. You couldn't touch the old one.
I could go climb up on a rooftop and touch this?
I could tell you where you can go to maintenance it, but that's kind of a secret, so.
Oh, I mean, that just seems like that'd be fun, right?
Well, I mean, I don't want to lose my funding.
Oh,
By
no,
doing
no,
that.
of course not.
So-
I wouldn't want to get you in trouble or anything. The idea of touching the moon, that's incredible.
But I am a little perplexed, and I'm a little scared that somebody might know my moon secrets outside of this group. We're talking about time.
Yeah, so the moon and time, they're very well linked, right? So
Yes. Here, especially.
How did you link them?
Linked?
that's our only way of knowing the true passage of measurement of time is by the moon moving. All the
Right. It's
watches
on a
are
very
based on, right?
specific schedule. It has a very intricate nightly cadence in which it rises and then falls, just like the old moon.
Right. I was more wondering how. So did you just model it on the old moon then?
Oh,
Or-
absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we had records kept of the old moon's phases, and of course, about what it was like in a 24-hour period. So, we could model it after that.
Did you blow up the old moon?
Absolutely not. In fact, I have no recollection of what happened to the old moon. I just know that city council said that we were having trouble locating it, and that it was coming out less frequently. So I don't know if there's some sort of bad reception or something causing an outage, but it was just seemingly unavailable.
I'm sure it's
Randy,
fine.
does my character have any memory of there not being a moon?
No, it's always. I mean, there's definitely always been a light overhead,
Yeah.
and since
so
there's
she's
no
saying all
sun,
this
it
stuff
must
like
be
that.
the moon.
How old are these people? I don't understand. Remember this shit.
So maybe we talk to the
So we need a watchman,
council, or we
broken
research who
or we
designed
need
the old moon.
young people, and things that get lost.
Who's the official that like gave us this investigation? Like, do we?
The special counselor.
Yes, the special counselor.
What about
he
them?
affiliated with the city council?
The special counselor is affiliated with no one, cannot be contacted or ever found for the rest of time.
So
But
essentially,
he's a member of the team.
Yes, he's got a dog after all.
That's great. So essentially, it's possible that no one knows him at the city council. No one knows about this issue of lost time.
I mean,
Stolen time.
he has to have some amount of authority because he granted it to you.
Yeah, well, he could have granted it to us just off the street.
Yeah,
I
the
suppose
crazy
so.
homeless man could have pulled us in and been like, "Time."
Maybe when you try and visit someplace under official authority, you'll find out if it's real or not.
All right. Maybe we go to the city council then.
What does my
Look
dog
around.
look like?
It's about yay long, but yay tall, thin as a rail. Seems to chirp when you pet it.
Are its ears up or down?
Depends on its demeanor.
Oh, so they can go up.
Yes, they're quite mobile.
Hmm. Is dog an acronym?
Is it? Are you investigating your dog?
Yeah. Does it have a label?
It seems that it's a one of the prized breeds of Dark City. Direct from the Queen 66 line.
And it appears entirely biological?
It does seem to be a dog.
Okay.
Weren't those dogs lost a day or two ago?
The news did say something about a prized dog breeder being robbed.
Yeah, I would suppose these are the stolen dogs. So what would the point of us having them be? How are they going to help us in this investigation? Are they experiencing time differently than we are? Is there something special about these dogs?
Or are we
Maybe.
being framed?
Or
Maybe.
is the owner of these dogs related to what's going on?
Maybe we go get the reward for these dogs and talk to.
I feel like going to the breed of these dogs is either a very good or a very bad idea.
Yeah, but we only have, what, 6 dogs that we know of? What about the other remaining dogs? There was, like, what, 18 of them that escaped? B, how many dogs is that left?
Carry
Oh,
the 3.
we have 6, so of course it'd be 12.
Right. What
You
happened
sure
to
it's
the
not
other
5?
No,
Can't
we
be 5.
we have 6. Well,
Could
we
be
only
7.
have 5.
That's
but,
true. You do
But
only
there
have
is
5.
a 6. There is a 6th dog.
If you can't see it, are you sure it's there?
Well, I mean,
We know time is there, don't we?
Yeah.
But we can't see it.
Time is just a construct that we
Anyway.
come up.
I've seen the 6th dog, so
Well,
I
then
know
how
there's
can
6.
you steal it or lose it or
There's 12.
obtain
Oh, you're
more
talking
of
about
it?
time. I thought you were talking about the dogs again. I was like,
I'm
hey,
sorry,
easy.
we're jumping all over the place
Yeah.
here. right,
So what do y'all think? Do you want to go visit the breeder?
Sure.
Ask. I feel like they're gonna know the most about the significance of these dogs.
Yeah, maybe we just ask them, are these your dogs? And then go from there.
Are these your dogs?
There's reported stolen, and we just have them.
Hmm.
Like that would put us
Yeah.
directly into
We'll
this
just say
into
that
this
some
criminal
random
investigation.
person on the street ran up to us and said, "Here, you each have a dog now."
But we're gonna.
We're all friends.
we're
We
gonna-
were walking. We found these dogs in a box. Does that work?
It's a pretty big box. They're not
It
small.
was. It was huge.
It was a
A dumpster is what it was. In fact, I bet they had been placed in that dumpster for someone else to find. But we found them. Took them right
All
back.
right. So
Who's
we're
that?
gonna lie our way to this person.
Well, you can't tell them the truth.
All right. I don't care. Let's.
I work for a
let's go.
top secret special counselor trying to figure out where time was stolen and by who, and they gave us your stolen dog.
I mean, if something was stolen already and they had it, now I'm beginning to suspect special counselor.
Is the real time stealer, and he's
Ah.
assigned us this case to see if he's left any loose ends.
He's already
Maybe.
stolen
He did. He stole the dogs.
dogs.
Maybe he found the, maybe he found the dogs.
It's
Why
time
wouldn't he
for-
turn them in?
What time limit?
All over the news.
Maybe these are just totally separate dogs, unrelated to the
True.
puppy theft
If it's no
We'll have to find.
from the Puppy Kennel Club.
I think we researched these independently. Let's go to the library.
Wait, we're going to the library. Let's just
Library.
go to the dog owner.
So I've heard library, I've heard hospital, and I've heard dog person.
I mean, if we take these dogs that were stolen from the breeder to the breeder, they're going to want them back, and I don't really want to give it up. I think we just look up the significance of it to see if we can find
Wait,
something on our own.
Why do I need a dog?
We were giving
the
them for
dog breeder
like
might
think
point us
about
to
all
the
the things the
underworld
special counselor could have given us. He could have given us
Underworld? Did he
weapons.
just
He
say
could have given
underworld?
us money. He could have given us equipment. He could have
He
given us
said underwear.
knowledge. He didn't give us any of those things. He
Underwear?
gave us this dog. Means gotta be important, right?
Or
Listen, I don't have a lot of time. I'm not the person that's stealing
Here,
time,
look,
so I think we
I'll
should
just ask the dog. Pick up the dog. Show me the way.
Period. End of sentence. Full stop.
To the dog.
Okay. You put the dog down, or you just keep holding it facing you?
I'm looking it in the eyes,
Okay.
seeing if I get any sort of response optically.
Optically, it looks like it's paying a great deal of attention to what you're saying, and then it kind of like wiggles a little bit and go
Then I'll set it down.
and like like points its face elsewhere. You set it down.
I'll set it down.
Okay. It starts
Well-
trotting off up the road.
Yeah.
Are we following this dog?
I vote for chaos. I'm
All
definitely
right,
not letting
let's
that dog get away. So yeah.
Go. Let's
Okay.
follow the dog.
well,
I guess I pick up my dog under my arm and start walking.
I look at my dog.
does my dog have a leash?
Nope.
Lead the way.
Oh.
These
Start
dogs all
following
look
him.
like the same breed?
Nope.
Or are they all different?
They are
breeds?
very
What
different.
What breed is my dog?
Your dog's breed is Big Fluffy.
Oh my god. So my dog was the only one that looks like one of the stolen dogs.
No, I didn't. Like, there's no.
Yeah,
there were
that's
not
not exactly
descriptions
stolen.
of the stolen dogs. Just 18 dogs from the Puppy Kennel Club were stolen.
Oh, I see. So they weren't all necessarily the same breed.
They were, yeah. Yours just happens to bear a stark resemblance to the Queen 66 bloodline.
What does Bia's dog look like?
Bee's dog is basically like an oversized greyhound, like a greyhound the size of the giant dog, Great Dane. Yeah, a greyhound the size of a Great Dane. So it's like 3.5 feet tall, but like this thin.
I pat it.
So
Oh,
it's an Irish wolfhound without hair.
Oh.
gotcha.
Do I have a pygmy pug I can wear as a hat?
You do not. You've got a Pomeranian you can wear as a hat.
Okay, I wear the Pomeranian as a hat.
And
Excellent.
what do I have?
Your dog is a hound dog with corgi legs.
super useful.
It's a horgie.
It's a horgie. Its ears are way longer than its body, not just a little
It's
bit.
basset hound.
It's a basset hound, but even shorter.
I love it. So cute.
Oh, there you go.
So
That
like
means-
its ears are a solid like 18 inches long, but it only stands like 9 inches off the ground.
I'm gonna take the strap off of my purse
Mhm.
and fasten it around the dog's neck like a little slip lead,
Okay.
so I can kind of control where he is.
Okay. Now whose dog are we following here? Keith set his dog down and said, "Show me the way." But I also heard B do the same with her dog. B, your dog does not go the same direction.
No, I said after you.
Yeah, you put it down
Right.
and said, "Show me the way." Those were your words.
Said after you. Right?
Nope. You definitely said, I set my dog down too and said, "Show me the way."
I thought I said after you. Well, I guess I followed my dog.
Okay.
Where are you going, B? Wait,
I don't know. I thought I told this dog to,
whose dog
Go.
are we following?
and then it didn't follow Keith's dog.
Tell your dog to follow the other dog. We're going to
Uh, we're going this way, actually. Come, let's go. Come on. What
Oh.
is your name?
They don't speak. Unfortunately, they don't speak.
You're going to be 3. You're going to be 3.
3 is a good
All right,
number.
3.
Oh yeah, like when you tell it to go the other way, it's like, oh okay, all right, whatever. It just turns around and follows y'all. So we're following Keith's dog, who is instructed to show him the way.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Did 7, 8, 9?
Did it? 7 is a man eater after all.
He's so upset if this is. Anyway, continue.
All right, hold on. I gotta fucking look at my notes. So it's not like we talked about 4 different locations, none of which were what I had planned for the dogs. And so I was like, oh, I gotta grab that picture. Oh, I gotta grab this picture. They're talking about somewhere else. Oh, I gotta grab this picture. They're talking about somewhere. Oh, we're gonna
man,
follow the
yeah.
dogs after all.
Hey,
All
to
right.
be fair, we were given these dogs.
Oh, I'm not saying you shouldn't be following the dogs. I gave you them
Right.
for a reason, but you had been talking about all these other things. Like, oh, I better go grab that
Yeah.
real quick, and then we ended up
Yeah.
with the dogs.
Logic, chaos.
Dogs. All right. Let me look at my Keith notes. Yeah. Okay. I got this. Cool. Yeah, that's me. And Keith is this one. This one? No. This one. Yeah. Okay. Which means you're headed to... Where's my list of places? Here. Okay. All right. I gotta go get that picture. Actually, you guys probably won't even find this, dude. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Would be line for straight for that guy.
Yeah, obviously. I'm like, what about behind the pillar in the bush? Oh, yes, of course. That one. Your dog leads you up into what you might think of as like the upper crust area of Dark City. The clubs here have like a $15 entry fee, and like drinks are solidly double the price of what they ought to be. And you make your way to a large towering structure, either like a massive office building or a really fancy apartment building, maybe. Either way, it costs an astronomical amount of money. I'm sure it's very fancy even from the exterior. You see, it's got like a tiered kind of layout or a tiered kind of architecture, like a wider lower floor, and then instead of like a steady slope inward, it has like a wide floor, a slightly less wide floor, a slightly less wide floor. It's got like boxes on boxes, and the boxes get smaller. Lights all the way up, grand gateway entrance with this big statuesque centerpiece that's like a Ferris wheel kind of looking. Not as large as a Ferris wheel, but it's a wheel-like structure with like big spokes. The gate itself is stylized in iron to resemble like a large cogwheel, and it splits in the center to admit guests at entrance.
Have I ever been here before?
I don't know. Do you think Keith's the kind of fella who goes to Uptown?
I mean, I'm sure I've dropped people off here.
Yeah, outside, but have you ever been here?
Maybe on a date.
Maybe.
How about like actually hanging out there a lot though? If this is just an Uptown party district, then yeah.
I mean,
guess.
all of Dark City is basically a party district.
Okay. So yeah, I've probably been here a couple times, but not like intimately familiar.
Okay. Your dog leads you up to the cogwheel gate, and the gate splits and opens seemingly at its approach.
Are you going back to your owner?
He just turns back and goes, oof.
Okay. Let's see who owns you then, I guess. Oh, look at the party. They're either useful or they're missing their dog. Either way, it seems like a good idea to me.
This song's a bop.
I mean, if this song's playing here every time he comes here, maybe he does come here.
Maybe so. All right. As you enter the plaza of this, towering structure, you find yourself surrounded, not like enclosed surrounded. I mean, just like, your view at all angles is extremely cleverly disguised advertising. I don't like it's not a Burger King sign, it's the delicious smell of a burger. The telltale sizzle of meat on that hot griddle top happens to be the sound the leaves make.
That is so cool. I'd love subtle advertising. Advertising is so stupid.
Wouldn't that be cool? As you approach the towering structure, the doors open and a pair of attendants, like lobby attendants, maybe they do the front desk or something as well, but they greet you at the door. They wear a smart suit, maybe cut down to like a knee-length skirt and some kind of trendy men's capris, and a pinstriped shirt, a little hat that sits off sides to one angle, has a couple little stylish spires in it. Welcome. How can we help you today?
Oh, I'm here visiting a friend that owns this dog.
Oh, Toto! Welcome back, sir. It's nice to see you. Can we get you anything? The dog's like, oof. Like, oh, all right. What about your friends? Oof. Toto informed us that you're to be given a meal if hungry.
Oh, excellent. I am a little hungry, guys.
Does Toto have an owner who lives here, or is it just Toto?
Toto owns the building.
Well, that makes sense. Well, thank you for your hospitality, Toto. A meal would be great.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, I could really go for a burger.
Oh, well, we do specialize in burgers. I'm glad that it really piqued your fancy, totally out of the blue. Please have a seat. Your order will be brought to you.
Okay, Toto, let us know if we can be useful.
Oof.
This is a new one to me. Even here in Dark City, I've never whatever this is that is a dog.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've ever had a dog, so it's kind of cool that he owns all this stuff.
I mean, having a dog versus a dog that owns this entire building are two different concepts to grasp.
Yeah, he's very successful. Way more successful than me. We can share some secrets.
How does a dog become successful?
I mean, it's a likable little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he inherited this place.
That might make sense. Or he was like, oh, who knows? Attendance.
Yes, sir. Would you like to order something? Perhaps a shake?
Oh, no, honestly, if you'd indulge us, can you tell us a little bit about Toto? How he came to own this building?
Oh, yes, Master Toto has owned this building for as long as I've worked here, sir. What about you? Yes, I was here when the building was constructed, and, Mr. Toto paid for its construction, so I suppose he's been here all along. He treats us well and pays handsomely. What kind of information are you looking for?
How long have you been here? How long have you been working here?
Well, that's a good question. At least 2 lunar cycles.
It's kind of new.
If you say so.
So you're telling me you've only been here a couple of months?
At least, I said, at least.
Your memory doesn't go back further than, huh?
Is yours?
Does it?
Does it?
I remember a lot of cab rides. I guess if I were to like think about like how many happen in a day, I don't know actually. Shit.
That's a good question. Why don't you roll me intelligence? Make it a difficult roll or whatever the next not normal one is.
+1 roll or minus, whatever the.
No, not the plus minuses. The difficulty drop down.
It's hard.
Yeah, hard. That's the one.
0 hard. Ooh, damn it.
Barely missed, unfortunately. I don't think you selected hard because it shouldn't be 70. It should be 35 if you'd selected. Oh no, it did. I'm confused. What happens if
My
I
int is 70. So
I click
here,
this
just for
and I
shits
click
and giggles,
hard.
I'll run as normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it just doesn't
I think it
show.
would've been,
Maybe it just doesn't show the reduced capacity. It just says what the difficulty is. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, you full fail. Yeah, you now that you're really thinking about it, you don't really think of historical time in days or months or lunar cycles. You think of it in rides. You've definitely given a lot of rides.
Right, and I could have sworn it been way more than 2 lunar cycles worth of rides.
Maybe
but
it
I
has.
guess But I guess if I had to like try and quantify it or remember events in specific order, I don't really know.
Yeah. Tough to say.
Pretty sure a lot longer than that, but I can't remember my last birthday. I don't know.
Why don't all of you give me a spot hidden at hard difficulty?
Okay.
I encourage you to sort by alphabetical if you haven't already. Oh shit. That's 2. Oh wait, no, but it's not. It's not 2. It's a would have been a success if not for hardness. Reminder that we are using both the luck system and you are able to push. For those of you who are less familiar with mechanics, spending luck means you will be less lucky in the future, but it can force a success out of a roll if you feel it's worthwhile. And pushing means that you are basically saying, I'm going to try extra hard to succeed at this, but if I fail twice, the DM should punish me.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I've seen people die from that, or
Yeah.
like it brings about real crazy shit.
Right.
That was fun.
Spending luck is the safe way, but it's a game that ends up with you losing eventually still. So I've got.
So that ninja kept going and going.
Oh yeah, he burned it and burned
to see
it.
what you would do.
Mhm.
That was crazy.
So we've got 2 successes, 2 failures, and I think I'm still missing a roll. Do I have Jenny?
Pepper.
No.
There it is. You did it at regular, so you definitely would have failed it hard anyway. Your hard difficulty would have been half 35, so 17. Yeah. Do any of you who failed want to spend their luck? That's you as well, B. No? Okay. So we've got 2 successes. Keith and Sparky. You guys, the 2 of you, rather, let me pass a little time. Your meals come. They smell amazing. They look great. In fact, every single one of these meals looks like our commercials would like you to believe your food is going to look like at fast food places. They're actually like perfectly stacked burgers with the ingredients evenly laid out at all angles. It's, you know, it smells like it was actually just made. The fries are crisp, crunchy, and super hot.
But is seasoned?
Yes, of course.
What kind of seasoning is on the fries?
Light seasoning.
Old Bay, like a little bit of Old Bay. Oh, light, like light. Huh. I see. Wow, this tastes like stardust.
Yes, sir, that's our special Stardust spice mixture.
Huh.
And as he says this to you, Keith, the 3 who failed, are engrossed in their meals. They're too busy eating to even look up. But Keith and Sparky Whistler, you guys look up at the duo, at the the 2 attendants who happen to also headed up the waitering and the desk. Their uniform seems to have changed. They're wearing a chic, belongs on the catwalks at a modeling show kind of leather coat piece in like that like cinches at strange angles and leaves stylishly dangling flaps with a large vaulted pseudo hood. It doesn't cover up towards the top of over their head, but it looks like it could. Instead, it just
like
it props itself
like
up.
A dog cone?
Yeah, like half of a dog cone. But I mean, it doesn't look like a dog cone at all. But it sits back there like that. It's very stylish. Below, most of their like their feet and whatnot are hid behind the desk at the moment. But you can see it looks like their smart capris and skirts have changed to some sort of flowing red material. Just for a moment, everything's fine. Definitely not wearing a large metallic crown with skulls embossed all over it. It's probably just a regular, stylish little, angular crown. Yeah. You blink, everything's fine. They're wearing the pinstripe suits. It was a trick of the eye, for sure.
I don't think I saw them change costumes.
I mean, you can think whatever you want. I'm not
That
here.
was a quick costume change.
I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to tell you what you see.
Can I say that?
They look at you peculiar. So we haven't moved. We certainly haven't moved enough to change clothing.
They've been here this whole time.
We have been here the whole time.
Well, you went and got our burgers. That's a lie.
Well, yes. But since then, when we returned to the desk, we've been here the whole time.
Yeah, you went to get the burgers. You came back in weird outfits. I look up and you're back in your original outfits.
No, sir. We haven't moved since our return. It would be awfully hard.
You had some fancy clothes on a second ago. These are nice, but...
Sir, are you sure you're not seeing things? The appetizing smell of the meat and its juices do tend to cause a little bit of euphoric confusion.
Have I been here before?
Are you asking me or them or what?
Them, the attendant.
I don't think I've seen you before. What about you? Do you drive a cab?
I do. I know I've dropped off.
I'm not sure you've ever been inside, but I feel like I've seen you doing a drop-off or a pickup.
Yeah, is that your outfit? Is that your outfit every time?
Yes, these are the standard uniforms.
I guess. I just wondered maybe I'd seen you in something else, and it's just, you know, a little flashback kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't think so, sir. I mean, it would be difficult to see us in something else, since these are, in fact, the standard uniforms.
Do you guys party anywhere else as a group?
Like as a company?
No, you two together.
Oh, just
in
us.
A different outfit somewhere.
Yes, of course. We've been all over the city, decided to slum it on occasion.
I mean, do you ever wear really high-collared leather jackets?
I did have a high-collared piece some moons ago, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like I've met you guys wearing something different, and I got to notice a little flash of it there. I don't know.
I don't know, sir. I don't know. It's hard to say. I definitely haven't changed my clothes in the last 45 seconds, but...
Yeah, that's silly. Yeah, probably just a little flashback to old memories.
Yes, probably so. The wafting smells of delicious meat can do strange things to the mind.
What kind of burger here is your favorite?
Oh, I personally prefer the bison blood steak.
Oh, interesting. And what is this that I've been served?
Cow.
Oh, well, I think Mr. Toto would be okay if I get one of those.
Yes, Mr. Toto has informed us that you are to be fed to your heart's desire.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, could I get a half of a bison just to try?
A half of an entire bison, sir? Too much. Rich.
Oh, that is a good joke. No, just a half a bison burger.
Oh, half of a
Steak,
burger.
your
Yes,
favorite.
of course,
Half
sir,
of
of
your
course. Would you like any extra sides?
I'll take it as you take it.
Oh,
Honestly.
perfect, sir. We love it with a pudding. It's very unique.
Yeah, I'd like to try something.
Okay. Yeah. They don't move, but like a minute or two later, you're a small plate of like just like a half of a burger and like a small like a half of a sides dish is slides out onto the counter, and one of them tip taps it over. Here you are, sir. Anyone else interested in more food or feeling peckish?
Oh, thank you. And so this is your favorite, right?
This is my favorite, yes.
And what's your name?
Lawrence.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing a little bit of yourself.
I wouldn't dream of not answering a customer's question, sir.
I highly respect that dedication to service. If only I could aspire to, reach the similar bounds in my own life. Maybe I'd be driving several cabs. Maybe even over.
Driving several cabs, so that sounds difficult. How would you drive more than one cab at a time?
Holograms?
A good solution, sir. Ah, yes, clever.
That's not unheard of. They just do pre-recorded something really big guys out there.
Well, I wouldn't want to monopolize your time, sir. Anyone else need anything?
Can I get a hot dog?
Yes, sir. Would you like a wurst or a hot dog? Perhaps a corn dog?
Corn dog does sound really good.
Breakfast or lunch?
Lunch.
Good choice, sir. Good choice. Comes out a minute or two later. You got a solid 18-inch State Fair corn dog. Any toppings, sir?
Just a mix between mustard and ketchup.
Yes, the standard. Very good, sir. You see them mix up a excellent artistic yellow and red. Well, you have a free high-class meal.
So I'm going to go ahead and eat the Lawrence. and I'm going to be repeating in my head, Lawrence, 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 as I eat this. And I'm going to try and really focus on that flash that I got of him in this other outfit and see if I can see it again.
I'm looking at the skills list.
And I'm going to look into the eyes I do, which is creepy, but at the same time, I'm really trying to connect to this dude if I can. I want to know where the fuck that flash came from, or if I know anything else about him.
Why don't you roll power for me? It's POW, one of your attributes.
That's a skill. It's the only one I suck at.
Indeed.
And strength, I guess.
Yeah. You feel like you get close over and over. That you, like, every time, like, you're staring at him, take a really big bite and, like, really get the taste and the juices throughout your mouth. And you hold your eyes on him as long as you can, but eventually you have to blink, and it's that last second of observational cognition before the eyes close. You saw it. You open it back up, and it was normal again.
It was worth a shot.
Other 4, as he eats this obviously delicious food, you can hear him enjoying it as he stares awkwardly at the gentleman, Lawrence. You see his he pulls a Lord of the Rings moment. You see, like, the juices dribbling out of his mouth in a deep red, and it's a noisy meal for sure.
Out of curiosity, do you know who the person was who had their dog stolen a few days ago?
Well, according to the radio, it was not a person, but a place of business.
But do you remember the name of the business?
Yes, the Puppy Kennel Club.
Thank you. And separate question. Do you know where I can find a watchmaker and then a broken watchmaker?
Well, I imagine you could ask any child on the street to assist you with the second one. But an actual watchmaker? Functional or artistic?
Either or.
Well,
Probably not too expensive.
Oh, yes, if you leave the upper district and make your way down into Midtown, there's a crafter's row, I suppose, where you'll find a variety of handcrafted goods in various shops. It's not far from Angel's Rest, if you're familiar with that location.
Yes. Oh, the club downtown in Midtown. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. I have some things to ponder. I do appreciate it. Thank you for answering my questions. Perhaps I did have one more. When is time for a time?
Time is always time for a time, sir, especially when you're hungry.
Yes, but when is there a time for a no time?
Time for no time? I suppose if you're especially busy, you've no time for time. You ever considered if you're especially busy and you had no time for time, you need to slow down to make time? It's important to breathe.
Yeah, it's always important to breathe, otherwise you end up dead.
Yes, sir.
See, and if I don't focus on it very specifically and concentrate on it, I could end up dead in just a moment.
Yes, I suppose so.
Dreadful.
Dreadful indeed, sir. Well, we're closing up soon. If you could make your way outside, we'd like to lock the doors.
Oh, could we speak with Toto?
Do you speak dog, sir?
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, could you translate for us?
I suppose we're closing soon, but if it's brief.
Yeah, of course.
What would you like to say?
Ask him if he knows anything about what we should do next.
They turn, like push a button on an intercom and just like oof into the intercom speaker, and there comes a boof back, and they turn back to you and says, Master Toto suggests that you remember to breathe and make time for time. Avoid 7. It's not safe.
Will he be joining us?
I don't believe so, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you for the hospitality and the great meal.
Anytime, sir, though of course in the future you'll have to pay. Good evening. And they kind of politely hustle you out the door. And we'll go to break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Hello, Internet, we're back. It's time. We left off, our party had just been politely ushered out of the extremely fine dining burger place that was owned by one of the dogs that they'd been given. Togo. What are you doing?
Keith thinks to himself, blood pudding.
Blood pudding.
Have I ever had that before? No.
You think Keith's the kind of guy who eats uncommon pudding? I feel like Keith's a hot dog cart kind of guy.
He's trying to advance in this world.
Mm-hmm,
He'll still, indulge when he's given an opportunity.
I mean, sometimes
But he's not going to go out of his way to blow all of his money on fancy food.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're working all day and you're driving around. Your options are hot dog carts.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's by economics more so choice. But obviously, if a friend or a special friend wants to treat him to something, he's all for it.
Oh, true, of course.
But no, I don't think he's had too many different types of pudding before. So yeah, he's really thinking about that. That was his first time with blood pudding.
Interesting.
So he says, "You think it's made from real blood?
Yeah,
Where do you
animal
even
blood.
get real blood?"
From the animals that they kill.
When was the last time you saw an animal, Maverick? Just a thought to carry with you as the party moves on. In where?
We saw one just a minute ago.
Did you?
Dogs.
Oh, that's true. Sometimes dogs are people, though.
Sometimes dogs are people.
Like Master Toto.
Like Master Toto.
Yeah, that didn't seem like a dog like I expected.
Where are you
thought
headed
it was
next, party?
More successful than anyone I've ever known.
He did not. You're one dog down.
Perhaps we should follow another dog, or do we just
I don't like how that
didn't
turned
just
out.
happen?
I think we should ransom these dogs.
Well, 3 was gonna go that way.
Or talk to them or something. I feel like I just returned my dog to where it was supposed to be, which is a nice thing to do, but it didn't help us at all.
Are you
I
sure?
have a feeling that your dog would have gone back there eventually anyway.
True.
I mean, he's smarter than me, I'm
Established.
pretty sure, so
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. I guess I'm just a little confused. If dogs are running businesses,
You're right, I don't even know what the fuck a dog is. I thought I knew
I
what
don't
dogs were, but I thought about it. I've never actually owned a dog, so
I've
Yeah,
never
maybe.
had any correspondence with a dog before in any type
yeah.
of...
Have any of y'all ever owned a dog?
You know, I can't
Don't say it where they can hear it.
say I recall anything. Hey, 3.
Felt like growing up, I had friends who had dogs, and I've petted a dog before, but I've never owned one. I don't know. This is
Trying
just
to remember
confusing.
my childhood.
Your great whippet looks up at you.
Do you know who's stealing time?
He pees on the ground.
I'll let you think about that.
I think that's philosophy. I think he's saying that our natural urges and functions are stealing time. Sleeping, using the bathroom, eating, breathing. Those are the real thieves of time. You have a philosopher.
Keith and Sparky, why don't y'all roll me in a cult check?
I got a 3 on this one.
Normal, yes.
I got a 5.
Unfortunate.
Now, it would be pretty funny if a taxi entertainer was like a huge expert on the occult, but I didn't do that.
It would.
I mean, people have all kinds of interests.
You're gonna push, you said? Or are you gonna burn live?
Okay.
You're breaking up a little for me, Sparky. I don't know what you're saying. Are you pushing? Are you spending luck? What's happening with you, Sparky?
Yeah, I'm pushing.
You're gonna push. How do you go about pushing?
Let me push.
Is it not? Is a cult not a pushable roll? It says push right there.
No, it's a pushable roll, but my connection.
Yes. Your internet is failing you. First, I need you to tell me how you're gonna go about pushing. What do you? What actions are you gonna take? What is your push that you do?
Holds his breath and pushes more blood to his brain to try and.
The thing he does is that he forgets to breathe for a second.
He shirks the advice of Master Togo and decides to think extra hard while doing so. That's risky there.
And walks into a light pole walks into a light pole while he
walks directly into a light pole. Well, you succeed, which is both good and bad for you. First, I need you to take 4 sanity damage.
Yep.
And then, while you're laying on the ground trying to collect yourself after having slammed into the light pole, you find that your memory of the burger trip is slightly different than you thought it was. You feel like you've got a real solid picture of that brief moment of what they looked like.
Mm-hmm. As he sticks a hand up in the air, still laying on the ground. I've got it!
Now, are you okay? You hit that pole pretty hard, man.
I am not okay. I have honestly been feeling like I'm high all day because I've been trying to figure out how one can actually lose time and wrap my head around exactly what we're trying to find out. And you know what? Maybe I just needed to hit my head on something really hard in order for me to come to terms with some things that I didn't quite understand previously. Do I really want to know? Why is my brain trying to shut that out right now? No, I want to see it. I want to know. What do I see right now?
Do you need me to describe it to you again? You have the picture.
I have the picture, but I just
you want more?
Other than the scene, other than what they were wearing, was there anything different about the scene based on that?
The scenery in your it's not the entire sequence doesn't change for you. The whole memory isn't different. It's more like you got an alternative version of a still frame of that very particular moment, and around them the scenery kind of frays at the edges. You've got this beautiful hotel-esque lobby that happens to be a burger shop for some reason, and it's sterling white and chrome. Everything's perfectly clean, completely absent of dust and filth. And then just in the maybe a 3-inch oval around each of them, things fray a little, and as it gets closer, you see the outfit that you're accustomed to. A large kind of reddish hue to some of their skin around the forearm and nose to neck area. Some of the spots that you can tell are blacked out in the figure of the picture I sent you. There's a lot more red in those kind of hidden spots. Their facial features are a little blurry, but you get kind of the gist of things.
Great. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down in a little steno book I keep with me.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that's something to check out later.
What'd you figure out?
Oh, I have a very good idea of what they really look like. But for now, let's go get a drink over at Angel's.
The burger people?
Oh, absolutely. You kind of walked right into it. It was like, you're clearly not what you look like. And then they were like, no, dude, we're clearly what we look like. Don't worry about it. And I was
I just got this little flash. I don't know if I'd seen them somewhere else or something. I mean, they just, I don't know. Something was wrong about it.
Well, what
Then again,
wrong was the way you ate that food, man.
Oh,
I was trying to eat it like he would eat it. I wanted to know more about it, and I almost figured him out. I got close, but you saw. I mean, you have to have seen me staring creepily into his fucking eyes the whole time I ate it, right?
I did think he was odd. Yes.
I mean, that's something I'd normally do, but I wanted to be Lawrence in that one. I was trying to, get his favorite food, look him in the eyes, understand him, and figure out what was so wrong about him, what I knew about him. It was just on the tip of my tongue constantly, and I just couldn't quite get it. But
that's why I'm pretty sure we'll
what's
never
James's
be invited.
character? What's your character's name?
Sparky.
But Sparky, you were able to get a better picture of what their clothes were that I was thinking about.
Oh, right, and that their arms were completely red, and they had either a red paint or blood that was up over right to the space that was underneath their eyes, all the way back across the cheeks. The crown of skulls was quite impressive, though decorative because it was made of metal. See, this is why I need a drink.
No, don't drink. Absorb this. This is something important. I got the same picture. Where do we know them from?
That's why I write everything down, is so that I can look back at it and try to remember later. Which brings it to a different point. Can you lose time if you don't remember the things that happened? Isn't that a loss of time? Because that's a loss of
for you.
Event.
Yeah, so that's a question about what is the actual nature of our mission. Because if we lose memories, then yes, we lose time personally. But objectively, we didn't really lose it. We just don't remember.
But everything is subjective when it comes to the individual.
I feel like the special counselors having us look at something that was affecting everyone. Like if it was just individuals not remembering things, I don't think that'd be important enough to grind our entire society to a halt, right?
Well, unless we're all forgetting things.
Right, so that's what I was thinking. And how does one accomplish that across so many people intentionally? I mean, loss of time, stolen time. Which one is it?
Yeah, maybe we're all having time siphoned from us. Maybe so.
I don't know if it's so much siphoned as it's just is something where it's slipping through the cracks. Like how sometimes rainwater splashes on the sidewalk and doesn't seep away like it should. Oh. Right. Angel's Rest, right? I need to get that watch anyway.
A watch?
What you gonna do with a watch? Well, whenever you do it, make sure you label them so you don't have to remember.
Well, I intend to make it as obvious as possible which one's the broken one, which one's the one that's still working. But my thought is that if we don't remember things or things are not as they appear, yet if the broken clock is right twice a day, then there are certain opportunities that the broken clock will lead us in the direction we need to go, whereas the right clock will lead us, the one that is functionally correct most of the time, will be good as a reference to lead us to the places where we have been and will be going.
I can drive us somewhere if you'd like that.
Well, we can't take the dogs. So.
If they fit in your lap, you'll be okay. Plus, I don't have.
Do you think
Or
this
if he wants
beast is
to figure
gonna
out-
fit in my? I'm no offense, 3, but you're huge.
Well, just hold them.
Well, you know, Sparky's is the size of a handbag, so I think it'll be okay.
I could practically ride 3 up. I would never. I could practically ride 3.
Can I ride them?
No.
Well, I guess I could put mine in the lap. I don't.
I have an aerated luggage compartment in the back too, if you want to put one in there.
Well, I'm not gonna put a dog in a trunk if that's what you're saying.
It's aerated. You can put a human in there too. That'd be all right. Got holes.
You've put several humans back there before.
People were sleepy sometimes and wanted to ride back there.
That's odd.
Yeah, I've had some
Sleepy.
clients. I mean, I'm not gonna get in on people's requests. Tell me what you want. You give me the money, and I'll put on a song and dance for you and get you there. It's pretty simple. And if somebody requests to ride in the back, okay. It's actually easier for me. Then I don't have to do a song and dance. They're just back there. I mean, it's only happened twice. It's pretty weird. Not gonna lie, but the point is, you can ride in the trunk. It's not that bad. I'm sorry, storage compartment.
This conversation's really weird. In general, I had no idea what you two were talking about with service.
Oh, those people who were serving us tonight were either somebody else at some point, or
Yeah, I did
somebody
not
else entirely.
see what you were speaking about, so I'm a little bit confused.
I had a vision of them wearing this really weird outfit. And Sparky here says he recognized the same thing after knocking his head on the light. For us both to see that, I don't know. That seems a little too, I don't know, a little too on the nose to be coincidental. Because I didn't really describe.
You knocked your head on the light. Is that right, Sparky? I mean, I've never seen a light bulb that could completely disguise somebody. Unless it's not really a light and it's a projecting object.
Do you think they were disguised by the lights in there?
Maybe it's what the moon is now.
The moon is absolutely not some kind of projecting object. It is simply a means of telling which day it is, what time it is, and or seeing. In this
Seeing, so
dark
it
city.
emits light,
Well, I mean, it's the moon.
so it projects light out.
Yes, it projects light, but I'm talking about a projector in something of a, like a movie or, you know, that sort of thing.
Do you guys mind if we go to like a library or something really quick, then I can go try to
Sure.
just before I forget about this entirely.
Yeah. Do you
I
really
think
think that Toto would be involved with such oddly scary sounding individuals? Though? I mean, really. I
don't know anything about Toto.
still trying to
Toto-
process the fact that Toto is way more than a dog.
Why does he got to be more than a dog?
Toto appeared to be a dog to us.
Maybe it's your
Appeared.
perception of dogs that needs to change.
We ever seen them as pets. I was never around a dog that was smart enough to communicate with people in that way, own a business, building. I guess I'm
Sounds
perhaps
speciesist to
not
me.
as perceptive.
No, it's all very weird. It's all very weird. But I'm not in any position to judge Toto's character based on knowing it for a very small amount of time, and then it choosing to not continue working with us. I mean, maybe we had it under, you know, conditions outside of its own power. So I get it, but I don't know anything about it. And to be honest, in order to own a building like that and push people around like that, maybe not so up and up. Even for a dog. Just saying. The people that, I mean, okay, I'll push further. The people I've known and the people that I've worked for and with have a lot of money. None of them were really very, I don't know, moral, scrupulous.
It's a good word.
So,
I mean, is anybody in Dark City like that?
Are you?
I don't know.
I think some people are, you know, I think, you know, I think a good people.
The children, surely.
I think this week I am, for sure. I am
Definitely.
definitely right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be good, at least as good as like most people would be. And then, you know, most people don't wrong me on a daily basis, so sure.
So are we headed to a library?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Dark Stacks, the Dark City Library, stands on the outskirts of town, not actually exterior to it in any way, just kind of at the outer ring, and circles pretty wide. It's a narrow structure, but it's very long. Very tall, very narrow, or not very lacking in depth, I suppose, of a building. The Dark Stacks are run, I suppose is the word I want to use, by the owls.
Checks out.
Is it going to break anything associated with your scene if I turn my video off for a second?
I have no idea. I don't have any frames or names on it, so no, probably not.
Probably not. All right, cool. It's run by owls, you said.
Yeah, the owls, I said.
The owls.
Okay.
Is that like actual owls or a group of people that
Have you ever been to the library?
as a teacher? Probably.
You've only been a teacher for 48 hours.
Well,
It's up to you. You can still say yes. I'm just saying, you know, time-wise.
someone that's studied, probably.
People. A group of people known as the Council of Owls.
Okay.
Dogs, owls, are these acronyms?
Are they?
I'm starting to think they are.
Hmm.
But the barking.
But the barking, indeed.
These people hoot,
Maybe they do hoot.
or are they
How
a
backwards
hoot?
is God?
Hmm.
Yeah. Just one.
Hoot backwards is
2.
2 plus 5 is 7.
We don't talk about 7. 7's a man-eater.
You gotta be careful around
789.
them.
We don't talk about that especially. That's asking for trouble.
maybe it's what we need to solve.
Maybe it is. We find ourselves...
Oh, I'd be so happy if this whole game wound up like spiraled out of some corny dad joke.
We find ourselves at the library. Dark Stacks, the name of the building. What are we here for, gang?
Use of the library?
Barking.
Right, so here to find things that are not as they appear for a description of a group of people who wear a very unique uniform. Should probably just go ahead and ask the librarian to see if they know any where I could find descriptions of different kinds of uniformed individuals like that.
So you enter the Dark Stacks and approach a librarian. One of the owls turns to look at you.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Good evening. I'm looking for something to describe an individual. They had red all over their face, covering their nose, around to the back of their ears, a golden crown that had skulls all over it, and they were wearing a very unique black robe. Their arms also were covered in all kinds of red.
Interesting, sir.
hoping that you might be able to point me to some books to address this group of individuals.
Well, sir, I believe I could help you. Who?
Terrific. You may have caught the mouse by the tail.
Let me go and peruse the stack, sir. He steps away. You notice that he has a weird hitch in his getup, a little stutter to his step. Sometimes he hops, sometimes he waddles.
What's his butt look like?
Can't see it, hidden by his clothes. Long draping top, like a heavy shirt, maybe a coat of some kind.
Is these legs?
Only from like ankle to foot.
Does he have really skinny legs?
They are pretty skinny looking, yeah. Sharp though. A pointed shoe, as it were. Moments pass. You hang out among the stacks, the dark stacks, before your newfound companion, one of the council of owls, returns. Right, he has to read his cryptic notes again.
Randy looks at his notes. Believe in yourself. Let the light guide the way.
A bunch of my notes from last session are like, oh, for fuck's sake, why did you do that?
Great.
What a terrible choice this was.
Hey, I mean, that initial session was such a dream sequence that you can really toss things around in the bucket and we wouldn't even know.
That's kind of the plan.
Yeah.
I was talking to James and he was like, oh yes, I wrote all these things, and it's like, oh good, everything that mattered you'll have missed, and everything you think was important will be in your notes. Very good.
That's the nature of chaos. Good gravy.
Yep.
Alrighty. A different owl or a different librarian approaches before yours returns, if it ever does, and she looks kind of blandly over your group. You can see that her eyes are without iris and pupil, all whites. You came for clowns? Red people?
Oh, more like sinister-looking individuals rather than just scary.
Throughout the length and brevity of human history, clowns have been quite fearful.
I don't think this was a clown, though. It was not any type of clown I'd ever seen before.
So, you're the arbiter of clowns?
I mean,
I know.
if this was a clown, it was wearing a crown of skulls. I'd
Ha-
associate with clowns.
Halloween clown, perhaps?
It seems like a mighty bit of speculation. Is there something someone's written down that's a little bit more concrete?
I have no idea. I don't bother myself with what people have written down.
I suppose, what do you see then? What do you bother yourself with?
The veil.
Of?
Sight? Sound? Senses.
Interesting.
The grand illusion that sits before all that we experience.
Illusion.
Yes, the waking world. Everything you think exists that does not, and everything that could be that might not be.
Sort of like beyond the veil kind of thing.
Oh, there's no telling if there is anything beyond the veil. How would we know? We cannot experience.
Sounds like I don't know what I am experiencing.
That's true. Have you considered the benefits of light? It illuminates. It tells us what's there.
Tell me more about light.
I can't see it.
Yes, but you seem to be an advocate of it.
No, not at all. I think it solidifies what it is it wishes us to see.
It?
Light!
Like it has its own conscience?
Well, the moon is
Sentience?
the moon is alive after all.
The moon is alive?
She should know. She made it.
The moon is not alive. It works. I don't understand how you know anything about the moon.
Are you dead?
No.
Do you
Not to my knowledge.
do you work?
Are you saying that she is the moon?
No. Absolutely not. She's not light.
No. They were
So
just
if your
trying.
definition of life is anything that is working.
No, that seems far too narrow.
I mean, isn't everything that we see working in some way? I mean,
Yes, I think that's exactly the question.
That was an aha moment from James, but it was a yawn. My eyes like dart up there.
You see James, he's like,
oh,
oh damn, he's yawning.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he's got it figured out. Oh, shit.
So what
Well, I
about
can
time then?
Sorry?
What about time?
What about time? Do you have enough?
I have the amount that I'm given.
Yes, but will it get you where you're going?
Do I know that?
Do you?
I do not.
Well, then maybe you need more. Maybe
how would
you
I get more if I
One-
wanted it?
maybe you have more than you need.
No.
And who is the arbiter to decide who has the requisite amount of time that they need versus the amount that they are given?
Goals.
Who?
Goals. Not a who, but a what. When you've reached your goal, you'll know whether you had enough time to do so.
Goals.
Sometimes you won't reach it, and that may be a function of time too.
What if we don't have goals?
Everything has goals.
So what if someone loses time? What if everybody were losing time?
Well, is everybody losing time, or is someone losing time?
We will say everyone.
Hmm.
Losing time.
Well, if everyone's losing time, then nothing's changed.
Is it possible to get more time?
Of course.
How do you do that?
Have you tried changing your goals?
Extend your
You know,
goals, and you get
I've been
more
chasing
time.
a
Exactly.
particular goal
If
for a
you're
very long time and not reached it, so
If
maybe
you-
just try a new one.
if your goal was to eat a hot dog tomorrow, you've got one day. But if your goal is to eat a hot dog next week, you've got many days. That's more time.
So I just set a goal of eat a hot dog in 100 years, and I'd live 100 years.
I didn't say that. I just said you had more time.
Time is a construct in some ways. So if we tell ourselves we have more time, we'll have more time.
I would argue time is a perception.
Yes. Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, so if you have a goal and it's too vague of the timeline, assign it a strict timeline and then see if you hit it.
I'm not here to tell you how to live your life.
I mean, you're telling us the nature of goals and time. I mean, that's kind of all we have, right?
Not necessarily. I'm here to posit whimsical whimsy.
Yeah, but you're saying you see beyond reality.
I did not say that.
beyond the veil?
I said I see the veil.
I mean, if you see the veil, that just means you see everything, right?
No, in fact, as you can quite certainly see, I don't see anything.
But I mean, like the veil, like that's what we're operating in, right?
If you so choose.
Wouldn't that be the nature of hiding something?
Is it?
Stay hidden?
My question is, are you quoting that if we have too short-sighted goals, we have too much time?
I'm saying that it is often the case that goals command time. That's all. Or rather, perhaps I should elaborate to goals command your perception of time.
I pull out my thing that goes ding.
You turn it on?
I'm turning it on. Pointing at her.
As you pull it out, your thing that goes ding, and she turns her, I don't know, her direction of facing towards you. You know, her body language shifts in your general direction. Oh, interesting. You turn it on.
Yep.
It starts off kind of low, like a Geiger counter with like really rare like radiation. You know, it's just like 10 seconds go by.
Right.
And oh, isn't that fascinating?
What do you mean?
Well, you've got a small box there that seems to be making a noise.
How do you know it's a box?
How do I want to answer that in a cryptic, uncertain way?
It sounds boxy.
In some ways, everything's a box.
Even the character facepalms with that.
I've heard it tell in a book of legend that it is possible to trap oneself inside of a glass cage made of emotion. I've never been able to master this task, but I continue to practice.
No. Have you ever tried one of those things where you feel absolutely nothing? You're laying about, you're floating in something, and you can feel nothing at all?
Well, I have been weightless on some rare occasions.
Like a sensory deprivation tank? Is that what we get that?
I've never tried one of these, no. Seems like it would
That thing.
seems like it would make my cloak wet.
You can't take your clothes off?
Why would I want to do that? Seems indecent, sir. How dare you suggest such a thing?
I mean, to be in water?
I've never been in water. Water is frequently in me.
You've never floated in water?
No.
Not even like at the beach?
What beach?
You know, the sand and waves and all that.
No, I don't know. Is there a beach in Dark City?
No, but maybe elsewhere.
How would you propose I get there then?
I don't know. Maybe you've been there before you were here?
I was always here.
I mean, everything you can remember is here, I guess.
Yes,
You know that
so
you were always here?
So always. If you can't remember it, did it exist?
Well, that's for other people to determine, isn't it?
No, certainly not. It's the opposite of true.
You think so?
Yes, quite
I
certain.
mean, everyone but you remembers you doing something and you don't, who's right here?
That's a good question. I shall have to consult the council.
I think we're creating our own reality. I think we're just perceiving it.
Perhaps you are, yes.
Well, maybe someday I will have the ability to create my reality the way you claim to.
I said no such thing.
It can't be both ways.
Why?
It's just not the way things work.
Says who?
Either everything is flowing and everyone is seeing it, or things are flowing one way and only you are seeing it.
That seems unlikely.
Is that why there's a veil?
No, there's a veil because I'm blind.
Oh, so that wasn't metaphorical.
Well, it could be. Do you feel as though your senses are veiled from the world?
I mean, yeah, me and my friend Sparky are just saw flashes of people looking completely different than the way that they were trying to appear and were appearing to everyone else in the group. That's why we came here, and you called them clowns.
That sounds like hallucination. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, about how I always do. But, I don't know. It seems wrong.
What
Kind of
does?
like how I see ghosts.
Ghosts? I haven't heard of ghosts in quite some time.
As a matter of fact, the boss I reported to just a few days ago was a ghost, which is the strangest phenomenon I've ever had.
You work at a business run by ghosts.
Yes.
Fascinating. And what is your job there?
Putting things together for the ghosts because they don't have the ability to put them together on their own.
Yes, that makes sense. Very little influence over the material world, ghosts. Interesting. I would encourage you not to write that down.
Any particular reason?
No. It just seems that everything that's written down is so solid. Ghosts are not solid at all.
Yet they still have goals.
Well, they'd have time. That doesn't mean that they need solidity or rigidity. One's corporeal state does not beget one's access to time.
So if someone writes something down, it can become permanent and it can affect things well beyond their lifetime.
Of course, that's why books exist, and poetry, and statuary, and art in general.
Yes.
But if you don't write it down, then it belongs to the ephemeral. Everyone who speaks of it must do so from memory, and memory changes and fades.
And it does.
How long have you been here at the library?
Always.
Do you know how long always is?
We are the Council of Owls. We came with the library.
When was the library built?
At least 2 lunar cycles ago. I'm quite certain.
You know, that number has popped up 3 times now. Do we know of anything older than 2 lunar cycles?
The moon.
Is that true, Ginny?
2 lunar cycles? I mean, the moon has been around for, well, before my time.
I thought you said you built it.
Well, yes, I built it. But if we're just saying the moon and not specifying my moon, you know.
Did you build your moon 2 lunar cycles ago?
No, it was, well, I think it was before that. Longer. It's been longer. Maybe.
Oh.
Wise old owl, do you remember anything about the moon ever being out?
Did you just call me old?
A wise owl.
Terrifically rude.
Wise young owl. Do you remember anything beyond the moon?
I don't think there are any young who are wise.
Owl. Do you ever remember any outages of the moon? Or have heard
Outages?
of any outages of the moon?
Yes, of course. During every lunar cycle, there's an outage of the moon.
While it resets.
Yes.
It's true. And while it resets, we don't know how much time passes because there is no moon.
All right, we measure time's passage with the light.
Oh, yeah. That seems important.
Well, and what about when the moon's down?
What do you mean?
Well, the moon's
During
not
that time?
the moon's not always up. Sometimes it's down.
Have you gone outside and not seen a moon before?
I've never gone outside.
Oh.
Then
I
How
don't
do you know
feel like
about
I've
the
ever been
moon?
outside and not seen a moon personally.
Interesting.
So you're only going out during moon hours.
Maybe that's the case, yes.
Yeah.
I guess.
Is that your entire day then? Moon hours? Visible moon hours.
I didn't know there was time other than that.
So if you weren't out when the moon wasn't out, you're not counting that time. Interesting.
I mean, don't you guys ever sleep?
No one sleeps.
No one sleeps. What are you talking about?
You don't have a time period where you go inside and just hang out?
Well, I mean, everyone's
Hanging out.
unconscious every now and then, but that's just
Not
because
sleeping.
they partied too hard.
I don't know. I feel like I'm only outside when the moon is up for some reason. When I spend my time doing indoors, I mean, I guess it's not sleep. It's a lot of stuff, but there is sleep in there too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Maybe you're confusing sleep with something else.
Y'all.
Yes, maybe sleeping for him is like not coherent, you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I turn off sometimes. That's what I'm saying.
You turn off.
Yeah, just lay down a bit, turn off.
Are you a robot?
What do you mean?
Maybe he doesn't know he's a robot.
What is like a machine?
Yeah.
And
Like
a
a
machine.
working machine.
Yeah, we can turn machines off.
It's true. Machines do work. Sometimes I would argue machines are alive.
Sometimes they also break.
Yes, that's true. The moon broke once.
Not on my watch.
No, of course not. Long before your time.
So you guys never turn off.
No.
Sometimes I turn down for what, but I never turn off.
I mean, who doesn't?
I like that song. It's very popular.
That was so smooth.
That's a song?
Yeah, it's on the radio all the time. I get requested that a bunch.
Keith, you may recall it's a remixed derivative. Turned down for whom?
I like that one.
Maybe I've got one or two requests for that. Or very elderly. Are you sure you're not old?
Me? No, sir, I've never been old. Not sure I was ever young.
Perception.
Age is in the eye of beholder.
Well, that song is old, is what I'm saying. I think you actually have I think you actually have the derivation backwards.
I don't think
Turned
so.
Down for What is a remix of Turned Down for Whom.
No. Turned Down for What came out 6 days ago, and Turned Down for Whom 5 days ago. There was a solid
the other
days
way.
period.
Turned Down for Whom was ancient.
Ancient, you say?
Yeah, like it's not even on the radio. Like I had to find it.
Oh. Well, I will have to consult the council.
Yeah, I mean I know that one. I understand the way music works,
Interesting.
and the music has dates on it.
Music is quite tough for me. I keep writing it down.
It has words and notes attached to it, so
Right.
yeah. In order for everybody to enjoy it the same way, in order for it to exist uniquely, you have to, right?
No, not at all. We find plenty of fantastic musicians in small, dingy basements filled with cigarette smoke and stale beer, jamming. That's the best music.
I mean, it is really fun. That's true. It beats doing nothing.
I suppose.
Evidently, you guys don't ever do nothing.
So there's nothing in this library about whatever they were talking about.
The clown people, yes, I recall.
Yeah, the red people. or
Yes, the
something
red people. Right.
Weird. I mean, have you ever heard of the owner of that building with the burgers?
Bob?
No. This is Toto. Have you ever heard of Toto?
I feel like I'd used to know Toto.
Yay high, fluffy.
Fluffy.
One ear sometimes up, the other down.
That doesn't sound familiar, no. I feel like I used to know a Togo, but...
Oh, it's a Toto.
Oh, Toto.
Yes.
Wasn't that Dorothy's dog?
It was, yeah. I think in the old movies. That was what was that movie called? Can't remember.
Dorothy's Daring Adventures?
Was that it?
Yes, Dorothy's Daring Adventures in Wizard of Oz Land.
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, they
yes.
did change the name when they wrote it down, yes. Unfortunate that.
So you knew a man named Togo.
Once upon a time.
What happened to him? Was he fabulously wealthy and successful?
There were periods of wealth, yes. It was mostly
What
that...
was the end?
It was mostly that he helped others, shall we say.
In what way?
Well, he helped them become fabulously wealthy, and occasionally that meant that he was as well.
How does one help others become wealthy?
Well, you point them in the right direction. And when they don't go that way, you point a little harder.
Well, our friend Toto pointed in a direction, and he seemed pretty wealthy.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it didn't really lead anywhere. And then he just left us.
It did lead somewhere. I mean, like, you and Sparky seem to have some strange vision.
Yeah, and the vision led us here, and she thinks it was clowns. And I don't know. It doesn't really line up to anything for me.
Faith is like that
Clowns aren't
sometimes.
Wearing a costume.
It's there when you don't
mean-
need it, and once you do, it's gone.
Have you ever seen a clown outside of its costume?
I've never seen anything.
Not you, but Mr. Keith over here. I've never even seen a clown. Heard of
You've
them.
never seen a clown?
No,
You've never been to a
not
festival?
in person. No,
You've never been to a festival or a carnival?
no. I mean,
Really?
I might have maintenance one of them a few times, but I've never been in attendance of one as a
I
patron.
mean, they're kind of fun. I don't know. I guess that's just It's pretty common. I don't know. Where were you born?
Well, in
Sorry,
Dark City,
sorry.
of
Where did you
course.
grow up?
Here.
I mean, most neighborhoods have their own little festivals. And most of those have clowns, which is why I was confused. She said they were so scary.
Wait, do they?
The ones that I've been to, yeah. At least a couple times. Although, if we're going to say when and where, I'm not going to know. But I'm pretty sure most neighborhoods have their own festivals.
6 days ago, you were definitely at a festival. You remember it pretty
fact,
clearly.
We were just in the upscale district and they have a permanent Ferris wheel. You guys saw that, right?
Permanent Ferris wheel.
Yes, we went through the cog gate and it was right there.
I must have missed it. I mean,
Really?
that smell was so good. I wasn't really thinking about anything else.
That's true, but a giant illuminated wheel with people riding on it? You didn't see that?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, they usually set those up for festivals, not always, but most neighborhoods. And then there's clowns and silly foods like the like the food that the teacher guy ordered, the long fried hot dog. That's a festival food.
Maverick.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yes.
I don't-
it's a festival food, isn't it?
Not. Never been to a festival that served that.
Really? So I'm the only one that has been to a. Well, hang on. You other two, have you been to a festival and seen clowns and fair foods and the hell was it, Ferris wheels before?
Say that I have.
Maybe not a festival proper, but you definitely remember carnival games. Especially that one where they let you guess people's weight. That was always math.
I remember throwing darts at something and there was a loud man who would yell at people to come stand on a scale and he would guess their weight. I vaguely remember that.
I mean, that sounds like a game.
It was
Maybe that's
only
like
70% right, but that's still enough, right?
When was this?
a math game.
A few days ago, for sure.
It was definitely a few days ago.
Sparky, have you ever been to a festival?
You know, I've set up the fireworks display for one, but I don't remember a whole lot after that.
Or pyrotechnicians, they're always forced to work in the back.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. So,
Oh,
yeah.
right. Well, I went to the hospital. That's right. That's the reason why I wasn't there. Anyway.
Well, and I'm sorry you didn't get to see your handiwork. I mean, the fireworks are incredible.
At least I have both my hands.
It's nice to have hands.
Mm-hmm.
And all your fingers?
It's a vital component of the hand. I can't imagine not having fingers either.
Where are your shoes, Sparky?
Oh, I walked out of those a while ago.
Well. The streets of Dark City are very clean. It's not really dangerous to go barefoot. It's fine.
Except for all the broken glass.
Well, yeah, but those are only outside the clubs.
So I need to let all of them go to the club to get me a drink to bring it outside so that I don't walk on broken glass. Got it.
Or get carried.
Ah, like the dog on my head.
Yes, just like that.
Keith?
Oh, thank you for all the help, Mrs. Owl. Do you Do you have any scissors by chance?
If I did, I wouldn't know where they were.
Oh, do you have a stationary desk? You know, as writing and cutting and drawing tools.
No, I don't think that's a function of the library.
Does the library not have any paper books?
Yes.
Is there a paper books maintenance area?
I would have to imagine so, but they wouldn't let me use it, so I couldn't say where.
Are you not allowed to write things down?
I can't see.
Yeah.
What would
That's
I
true.
write?
I guess if you haven't seen writing, you couldn't reproduce writing.
Right.
Unless somebody trained your hand, but that would take somebody really liking you to do that.
And a rather extreme margin for error.
Yeah. I mean, children, right?
Yes, but they look at the paper while they do it.
Yeah, but still. Good luck trying to figure it out when they're early.
And
Be the same way.
I invite you to close your eyes and write a letter sometime.
I mean, I didn't say I like to write, but
You
yeah.
do it, bitch.
So, do you know who I could ask for the maintenance area?
No, you
Point us in that way?
you don't work in the dark stacks. I don't imagine you'd be allowed to the maintenance area. Have you considered
Do you have
visiting
a hint?
a stationery store?
Do you have a kitchen?
No,
Do you have a cafeteria?
no. This is a library.
Do you eat?
Not that I can remember, no.
Yeah, well, that explains not having a cafeteria. And you never turn off.
I don't turn on either.
Right. Okay. Are there any religions in this city?
The light?
Yeah, but that's so general. Are there people that worship things in this city?
The light?
Yeah, but anything else than that? Maybe certain esoteric things?
They used to be.
I'm sure there's people that worship the darkness by virtue of people worshiping the light. Right?
Absolutely not.
No?
But there used to be
Banned.
people who worshipped color. They'll stop
What if-
soon.
Why's that?
Because color's going out.
Well,
It's out of
I-
style.
So I'll have to get new clothes.
No.
It just won't exist.
Well, you just won't be able to see it.
Have you ever seen?
No.
And how do you know about the representation of color and comprehend that?
Well, the power of the spoken word is great and mighty.
I mean, yeah, I guess other people's descriptions of it, but
Many people have attempted to wax poetic on red and failed.
right.
If color
You know,
is
there's a lot of
light,
technology out there. Could somebody fix your eyes?
It might.
Would you want that?
No.
You've
Then
been
I would.
offered?
Then I wouldn't be able to see.
You're gonna be able to see your veil.
Yes.
So the veil's a form of it's a comfort for you at this point.
Of course. It's been my everything.
Here's a fun one. What do you think I look like?
Hmm.
You described him perfectly.
I would imagine you're constructed of a series of tubes encased in a large sleeve.
Is that what I look like to you guys?
More or less.
That's what doll people look like, right?
You know, it's a real shame if nobody can see anybody anymore. I mean, you've adapted to it, but a lot of us will have a lot of trouble once color's gone.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
And if we remember.
I mean,
I've been crunching the numbers, guys. And it doesn't.
well, how much
look
time
good.
do we have left?
It doesn't look good.
How much time do we have left then? Until everything's black.
Well, time is 2, right?
What?
And memory is 9. And if you
Interesting.
multiply time by your memory,
You'd think I would understand what she's saying by now, but
It's 18.
It's 18,
I
yes.
don't think I'll never know.
Yeah.
Does everything equal 18?
No, many things are based in tens.
very crisp.
Whoa.
Nice and round.
But what happens when you double 10?
You get 20.
Isn't that too many?
It's far too many.
There's far too many too.
This doesn't feel productive anymore.
Welcome to Dark City.
In fact, this whole mission's starting to eat at me. I think I'd rather be driving cars. I want to help, but I don't feel like I'm helping.
Well, you got rid of your dog.
How much
That
time
dog
do you
was
think-
its own thing. You say my dog. I was given that dog, but I was never really given that dog. That dog was its own thing.
I mean, we now have a lead insofar as the maintenance of the moon and its importance to people being able to keep track of time. Else they might lose that time because they don't understand that it is passing.
Yes, and with no moon, there's less light, and there's less light, which means more darkness. Which
Well-
I'm
means
gonna make a
color.
cognitive effort to be outside the next time the moon's not up.
And the
I
moon.
want you guys to help me do that. Okay?
I volunteer. Sure.
Thank you.
So,
You gotta carry him to get a drink.
the
I just
party.
want to see it. I just want to see the sky without a moon. That's all. It's not weird. Y'all see that every day, right?
The party makes its
What?
way out of Dark Stacks, having found no further information, I suppose, in the library.
Looking for sharp objects as we leave.
You get a call on your cellular device, Keith.
Hello, this is 40892.
40892. It's time.
Oh, it's ready.
Yes, it's ready.
Oh, cool.
As
Okay.
is my need of you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be over there within an hour.
Perfect. Thank you, 40892. I look forward to your visit.
All right. Me too. All right, friends. I need to dispatch for just a little bit, but I'll be back soon. If you need me, contact driver 40892.
How do we
And
Carry
contact?
me into the bar so I could get a drink. But okay, I understand.
I have to take care of something personally, but I'll be back as soon as I possibly can.
Okay.
Like I said, if I'm not back within, I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck time is anymore. But if I'm not back quickly, contact me.
The night's running long anyway. You've all got work soon. Probably time to get back to that job. Make the daily bread, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, actually, yeah, now that I look at it, don't most standard shifts start soon anyway?
they do. Seems like everybody's got to go back to work.
I mean, that's convenient. You all have somewhere to stash your dog?
Or you can go with me.
I want to use my dog as a teaching method today.
3, you like numbers?
He pees on the ground.
All right, let's go.
You guys have a system. I like that.
Don't ask him anything in the car.
Good plan.
3 does not fit in a car, so it'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh, you're going to ride them back.
We'll walk as equals.
As equals.
But you own him.
I don't own 3.
I'd be
Is he
careful
your
about
dog?
saying you own your dog,
I
because
don't even
evidently
know.
my dog was much more important than I am.
If 3 is a him,
Maybe you set him free that way.
I feel like it's rude to stare.
Well, friends, with work coming up, probably about time we parted ways.
I'll see you guys again soon.
I think we won't see Keith for a little while. He's got a favor to pay and some work to do. But the rest of you, of course, will be back the next week. Today you played a visit to your friend the Blind Owl. You met Toto and his beautiful burger shop.
Toto Togo.
If you say so.
You use them both.
I don't know.
Trying to figure out the context of the two is the
You
challenge.
keep changing them.
I've never changed anything. It's always been exactly as it was.
Ah, as it should be.
As it should be.
It's really easy to misremember things.
We had a very, very brief look at some clowns. Took a long, detailed note about their status, about their look and their feel. The memory fades and grows hazy. You're tired, but maybe that just means you need to go back to the club. Well, I think we'll see you all next time we return to our favorite place. Our only place. Our waking place, at least. The Dark City. Good night, Internet.